Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Sweet Mac Creations, where I get to show you some of my baking skills in making macarons, as well as things that I'm not so good at baking. Hopefully you get to see the good and the bad and the ugly, and some of my greatest successes and some of my biggest failures. I'm starting out here by showing you how I'm sifting my dry ingredient. Not really my favorite thing to do in the whole process, but hey, I guess it's necessary in making some sweet macarons that you can bite into and then just enjoy. When I'm sifting these ingredients, I like to have like a stockpile. So as you can see, my almond flour is in a container, so it makes for easier sifting. I actually sifted that almond flour in a finer sieve than the one that I showed you in this video prior to doing this. Now I'm just mixing in my dry ingredients together so that they're all distributed. And there I go, spilling some almond flour and sugar off to the side like a dummy. But it's okay, because as I proved to you, I am a great cleaner of my work area. My wife might not agree with that statement, but I'm showing you here on video that I actually know how to clean after myself after making a big mess. These are some locally sourced eggs, courtesy of my father and his chicken coop. And as you can see, as I'm separating the egg whites from the yellows, you can see that there's some blood spots that I removed because these are from some cage-free, free-range chickens that lay on their eggs after they, pop them out. And so we don't really get a chance to always get them ahead of time before they start getting some blood spots in there. But as you can see, I cleaned it up very nicely, and I measure out my egg whites, making sure that I have all the right proportions for what I'm going to be whipping up. Here's my last egg, and I got lucky this time. I don't have any blood splatters in that bowl. But I like to measure out my ingredients, make sure I have everything in tip-top shape, and make sure everything is ready for the whipping stage. Just as an aside, I do wash my hands like every 3 minutes in this process because I just don't like egg and batter and all those different food colorings just stuck on my hands. I like to make sure that my hands are nice and clean before handling the food. Right here you can see I'm adding my granulated sugar because I'm getting ready to make my Swiss meringue, which is actually made on a double boiler. So I actually melt that sugar right into those egg whites before this spot right here where I'm whipping them into some nice thick peaks. Talking about whipping, if you have not yet, please smash that subscribe button and whip on over to that like button and like my videos so that you can get some notifications. Click that notification bell so that you're constantly getting my notifications for the videos that I post. Because this specific macaron is going to be hot dogs and hamburgers macarons that I'm making for a picnic that I'm going to be at with some family and friends. And if you subscribe to this channel, you're going to see actually all the macarons that I'm making for that picnic. I'm making like 5 different varieties of macarons here. So please tune in to my channel. It's going to help me so that I don't have to mix this meringue by hand anymore. I can actually afford to buy a standing mixer eventually, and I will show you when that happens. If I get enough subscribers and viewers and likes on my video, who knows, maybe I'll be able to buy a whole studio where I just bake macarons all day long. As you can see here, I added some brown food coloring and I'm whipping it up to stiff peaks. This is like a really satisfying step. I like whipping it up to those thick peaks. You know, it just makes me feel accomplished, like I actually did something correct for once in my life. And as you know, for some of you guys who are like macaron aficionados, you really need to whip those egg whites into stiff peaks before you mix in your dry ingredients. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to collect all of that meringue into the center of the bowl. Make sure I have every bit of meringue possible that I can possibly scoop up with my baking spatula. Right here, I'm just preparing my cup. I actually use Taco Bell, like empty Taco Bell drink containers to put my my piping bag into because it's just so easy and it's just the right size for me to place my piping bag into. So I have that ready on the side as I mix my dry ingredients, my wet ingredients, And I'm not even sure if I would call it wet ingredients. I would call it like semi-wet, semi-solid, or semi-wet, semi-dry ingredients with my dry ingredients, because that whipped egg, those whipped egg whites right there, they're so thick and solid. And so when you're first mixing in your dry ingredients for macarons, it seems like it's just like a bunch of fluff, and just goop just there. It doesn't look appetizing at all. But no worries, because sooner or later you're going to see in this process that as I mix the rest of my dry ingredients, it goes into this like lava stage. That's what everybody likes calling the macaronage, when it gets into the right stage of wetness. It's like that lava stage. See that right there? It's like nice and shiny, and it like runs like lava off the side of the bowl. That's a very satisfying feeling to know that you did it right, except that I spilled a little bit of that lava batter off the side of my piping bag, but it's okay. I'll get it all, organized in a minute. As you can see, I'm taking it out of my Taco Bell cup and I eventually take this binder clip, which you'll see in just a second. Like, I like using this binder clip because I can like squeegee that batter like right to the tip of the piping bag, and I just push it right along, and then I fold that edge. And this is a reusable piping bag, so it's very handy. I don't have to spend so much money on like the plastic disposable ones, but I can just use this binder clip just to clip the end of it so that no batter like spills out. It just keeps it nice and secure, so that when I pipe it on the silicone mat, I could do it like with the utmost efficacy, if that even makes sense. I don't even know if I use that word right. But here I am piping my macaronage on my piping sheet. And this is like a very, like, I get a successful feeling like inside of me when I'm piping these macarons, because I just know that I did it right when they settle correctly, and I just whip around that piping tip. I just know that I'm doing everything correctly, and I get so excited because I'm like, these are going to come out so awesome. Now, just for reference sake, like, I've seen these macarons made on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, so this is not my original idea. But I don't quite have a recipe to make these into like burger looking macarons. I just kind of looked at the pictures, and later on in the videos I'm going to do later, I'm going to show you how I fill these macarons. I'm doing my own method, because some methods that I've seen on YouTube and other videos, they use fondant to make like the lettuce and the tomatoes and the hamburger portion, the hamburger meat, and I'm not really into that. Right now you'll see that I'm going to start putting on my sesame seeds on my macarons. And you know what? I wasn't too sure about sesame seeds because I've always used sesame seeds on like savory foods, not macarons. So the fact that I am putting these on a sweet dessert didn't really sit well with me. But later on, when I try these macarons, because I like trying my desserts before I give them to other guests, the sesame seeds actually made for a really nice nutty taste and really paired nicely with the sweetness of the macarons. Some of these you can see I put a little too much. I got a little overzealous with the seeds, and some of them I put a little too few. I don't know. I was just trying to just go based on how I felt. Just, sprinkle some here, sprinkle some there, and just not worry about it. Have fun with the process. And I think that these came out really awesome. You'll see at the end when I show you how they look like right out of the oven. They look amazing. So I'm excited about these burger macarons because I'm going to start filling them soon, and you're going to see that process if you subscribe to my videos. So here I kind of made like these oval circles, as you can see under my silicone mat. And I just have to say, when it comes to macarons that are not in the shape of the general circle, I just think like I'm horrible at piping anything else but a circle on my silicone mat. As you can see, like, look how ugly that is. I mean, some of you might not, agree with me. You might think like, oh, it's fine. Like, you're piping them okay. But I just like to make everything perfect when I'm baking these macarons. I like them to look nice and smooth, but they just looked horrible. And here I am just like slamming that silicone mat. Like I just want them to come out smooth and spread out smoothly, and it's just not working out. But as I told my wife, I was like, you know what? These are hot dog shell like macarons, so they don't have to be perfect. I mean, when you look at bread, it's not always perfect. There's some imperfections there. And so I wouldn't call this like an absolute success. I would call this like a semi success, maybe semi fail. I don't know. You tell me in the comments below what you think, but I think they look like these weird, oddly shaped potatoes. And, you know, you could see me just slamming there. I'm getting so frustrated. Like, I'm like, would you guys just smooth out? Nothing like the burger macarons that I made just before this one. These, of course, I'm making the very next morning. I didn't make these on the same day that I was making the burger macarons. And part of the problem when I'm piping these is I just don't have a steady hand to be doing designs. I see people on YouTube all the time and they're like making all these designs and characters with their macarons. The best that I've ever done was for my daughter's birthday party. I made some unicorn macarons and I was able to make the little horn on the top. And even though the little horn was a little disproportionate on her unicorns, they were kind of cute. And I was able to like paint them with gold luster and do these really cool things with them. But these hot dog shells, I didn't know how to do it. So if somebody knows a better method, like please comment in the comments below if you know a better method in piping these macarons, because I just need a little more training on how to have some successful piping without like shaking. Shaking runs in my family. We all have the shakes in our hands. So I guess it's not really a good trait if you're trying to bake. But I tried my best, and you know what, at the end of the day, as long as the people who are trying my macarons are impressed with them, then I'm okay with that too. But as they stand right now, they just look so ugly. Like I just can't stand the way they look. But it's okay, because as you can see, I just don't give up. I'm very resilient. And as you can see in the next clip that's going to come up, I actually have all of my macarons together in one container. Here are my macarons, my burger ones, my hot dog ones. The burger ones came out absolutely amazing, and they tasted amazing with the seeds on them. And I guess you could see here, as long as I pair them a certain way, you can't really tell that they looked ugly as they did on the mat. They look pretty smooth, pretty nicely, but look at those burger macarons. Look how amazing they look. They look wonderful. I can't wait to fill them, and I can't wait to show you guys later on. So please, please, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see how these puppies look when I fill them with all the different components. Thank you so much for watching my channel today. It's been a true pleasure having you with me for my first video creating these macarons. There's going to be many more. I have some watermelon flavor ones. I have some lemon curd flavor ones. I have some strawberry shortcake flavored ones that I'm making for this picnic. So I hope that you will stay on this journey with me as I create like just different things. One of the things that I really want to make is like sugar cookies and learn how to pipe that icing sugar on there. I've seen many people do that, but like I said to you before, like my piping skills are horrible, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But anyways, if you follow me, you'll see whether it becomes a fail or whether it becomes a success. And maybe some of you who are baking aficionados can show me some tips. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.